All right, we got to talk about some moves the Chiefs made today. One was for a position group that we weren't so sure needed the buff, but we do like it. It's a linebacker. And then Brett Veach also picked up a safety. So we got to talk about these couple of moves. But first, how about those? All right, guys, let's get right into this. I was doing my Friday Q&A live stream, saw this news drop. The Chiefs made a signing, and we were all waiting, wondering, watching, when are the Chiefs signing their wide receiver one or making some move at wide receiver? Because that is a position of need right now. You've got Juju Smith-Schuster gone, McCole Hardman and Justin Watson still free agents, so there's definite needs to fill. And if you were to say, hey, Cole, what is one position you feel pretty solid at that they probably don't need to do much to, I would have actually said, cornerback, I guess, although they're pretty young, so I wouldn't be surprised if they made a move there. But linebacker is pretty set. Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, Leo Chanel they just drafted. They had Darius Harris. They could make even more moves if they wanted, maybe via the draft. But that is actually the position they added to today when they signed free agent linebacker Drue Tranquill. They got him on a one-year deal for about $5 million. Yeah, it was Matt Verderam. He said, I'm told the Chiefs signed linebacker Drue Tranquill to a one-year deal for $3 million. Incentives could bring it up to $5 million. He then said, Drue Tranquill is an interesting signing for the Chiefs. Last year, he posted 146 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 1 interception, and 4 passes defensed. It was his first real year of starting his snap count percentages. 2019, 42%. 2020, 7%. I think he broke his ankle, fractured his ankle, something in his foot. Off the top of my head, I believe that's what it was. 2021, 59%. And then 2022, given the reins to start, 93%. And he had this kind of a year. I mean, you got to freaking love that. A definite surprise signing. If you look at his stats on PFF, Drue Tranquill is a very good coverage linebacker. I mean, he graded out better than Willie Gay Jr. and Nick Bolton in coverage. And his pass rush grade, 76.4. Willie Gay did have a 75, Nick Bolton 62, but dude, if you compare some of his pressures to Nick Bolton had 11, Drue had 15, Nick Bolton 2 sacks, Drue Tranquill 5, Nick Bolton had 5 hits to Drue's 3, but Drue Tranquill had 7 hurries to Nick's 4, Nick Bolton 125 tackles, Drue Tranquill had 100. So definitely a coverage linebacker. I mean, he played almost 1,000 snaps, 977 snaps, I believe, to Nick Bolton's 1,100. Quite productive. And this is a really good signing, man. It's surprising, but it definitely makes the Chiefs better here. I'm going to pull up some tweets that I found that I liked. You've got Daniel Harms from RGR saying, KC looking to improve their coverage at linebacker. Tranquill likely becomes the dimebacker, but wouldn't be shocked if they used him as a pseudo safety. So he was a safety in college and actually moved over to linebacker. And so that means he's versatile, kind of a Swiss Army knife guy that Spags loves. Those kind of players, loves to be able to move them all around. Then Daniel said, I'm not reading between the lines here about possibly impacting Willie Gay Jr. They don't win the Super Bowl without Willie Gay, but having good coverage linebackers, it's just a good thing to have. The NFL is becoming more rotational. Obi-Wan Mahomey building a D-line that can truly play every position, and then grabbing another athletic linebacker who will probably be our best cover linebacker next to Willie. Herbie Teope confirmed the signing, said Tranquill was the green dot for the Chargers defense last year, turned in a career year with 146 tackles, 5 sacks, and 16 starts. And he can also contribute on special teams. This man can be used in multiple different ways. Spags and company are going to absolutely love it. Matt Lane of KCSN said, interesting signing, immediately adds a cover linebacker into the fold, one that has particularly given KC some fits, but it's a position that was relatively set as is. KC has been hesitant to fully unload the will spot to Gay, so a linebacker group of Tranquill, Bolton, Gay is entirely possible and honestly pretty good. So yeah, this guy will probably become a starter or will work in quite a bit. Think about this, man. Sometimes I think of the game against the Bengals earlier in the season. Joe Burrow ate the Chiefs alive in the middle of the field. So adding a coverage linebacker here that is exceptional at it and is versatile, that's a win-win. And the Chiefs just got better. Quite a loss in my opinion for the Chargers, but the Chiefs get him on a cheap deal. And I'm over here saying, well, why is Tranquill so cheap? And I guess the linebacker market is just not going crazy right now, but also many people in the comments of when I asked that were just saying, hey, he wants to go on a team and win a freaking ring. And much respect to that. He's a bit older. I think he's 27 or 28 years old, although he got drafted in 2019. I think he was just an older guy out of college. You know, you're going to be able to have him out in coverage as a linebacker, blitz him. And we do have Leo Chanel still against the run, but dude, you're going to be able to swap them in and out. And that is possibly why they did not tender Darius Harris and they're letting him walk. Just save the money there when you're going to get Drue Tranquill to come and join the team. And with all that being said, I mean, you guys got to let me know your thoughts on this one. Are you surprised that the Chiefs opted to go and get a linebacker? I mean, I definitely am, but you have to agree with me here. The Chiefs are better at that position because of it. And with a base salary of $3 million, I think the Chiefs had roughly $9 million in cap space. If this is $3 million, they still have roughly $6 million to make some moves happen, hopefully for a wide receiver. They can still get additional cap space in other ways. You could restructure Joe Thuney, Travis Kelce. You could extend Chris Jones. There's other ways the Chiefs can get money here. And a couple other things here. Tranquill was a former 4th-round draft pick out of Notre Dame in 2019. And Charles Goldman of Chiefs Wire lists him at 6'2", 235 pounds, an ideal coverage linebacker prototype in the modern NFL. Only 28 years old. He'll likely be on the field during the team's sub-package defenses, which are basically the new base defenses in the NFL. He then mentioned that Jordan Schultz reported Tranquill picked the Chiefs over 5 other teams, and I like that a whole freaking lot. Remember, this is not necessarily a position of need, but Brett Veach has mentioned this in the past. You can never have too much depth at any one position. And then the Chiefs were not done there. Brett Veach was taking a little nap, woke up and said, let's go get Tranquill. Let's go get another one. So the Chiefs just signed safety Mike Edwards, formerly of the Bucs. He'll be 27 in May. He's 5'10", 205 pounds, played in 13 games last season, put up 82 combined tackles, 2 interceptions, 3 tackle for loss, and 3 passes defense. A solid cheap pickup for the Chiefs. Matt Lane said he was a really good playmaking safety for RB in 2020 and 2021, 5 interceptions and 7 pass breakups over the last 2 years as a rotational / third safety playing all over the field. 2022 wasn't his strongest year after being forced into a starting role, but the ball skills and versatility remain. So with Juan Thornhill signing over there in Cleveland with the Browns, the thought was Brian Cook, he steps into safety number 2, and then the Chiefs draft one. Maybe you bring back Deion Bush. He'll be maybe the third safety, play some special teams, and that's another move Brett Veach made. Not going to be super expensive, and it was a position of need again with Juan Thornhill signing over with the Browns. Charles Goldman notes that he's coming off of a career best season with Tampa Bay, starting in 12 games for the Bucs. During that span, recorded 82 tackles, 4 TFLs, a sack against Patrick Mahomes, noteworthy. In week 4, 2 interceptions, including a pick 6 and 3 PBUs. He was a former 3rd-round pick out of the University of Kentucky in 2019 and was a part of beating the Kansas City Chiefs when he was on the Bucs in Super Bowl LV, which is something around here we do not like to talk about. I mean, Dov Kleeman, the man we know nothing about, I don't even know if he's real. He said, this is an incredibly good deal for the Chiefs. Edwards has plenty of ability, very good hands, has played safety and slot corner. Really good signing for the Chiefs. Ian Rappaport reported it's a 1-year deal worth $3 million and a chance to get $5 million with incentives per source. And then I want to add this, John Ledyard. He's a former Steelers and Bucs beats reporter, I believe, and now a current NFL draft analyst. And this is what he had to say about the safety Mike Edwards. He said, Chiefs fans, Edwards is coming off probably his worst pro season, but I think he's a good third safety. He's always been a splash play guy, ball skills and instincts, small and average athlete, but good tackler for his size. Inconsistency doomed him as a starter, but he's versatile off the bench. He gives and takes at times. He's football smart, but makes some mental mistakes in games. Popular in locker room, can play free safety or strong safety at times, even slot, limited in man coverage, but a tough competitor. He didn't grade out the best per PFF, but he played, 800 snaps and will be a rotational depth piece. I mean, if they're going to sign him for $3 million with incentives up to 5, I mean, Brett Veach and company must see the value in him. So there you go, and there you have it. Right after signing linebacker Drue Tranquill, they made another move. woke up from slumber and signed former Bucs safety Mike Edwards. So with all that being said, you got to let me know your thoughts on this. Do you like the Drue Tranquill signing? Are you surprised that even though it wasn't necessarily a position of need, they made the move? I mean, it looked like the Chiefs were like, we like Drue Tranquill. He's a great player. Let's reach out to him and see if he's interested in coming to Kansas City. And he chose Kansas City over, 4 or 5 other teams. So sounds like he wants to chase a ring. Let me know your thoughts about that signing. And then also former Bucs safety Mike Edwards. Again, don't know a lot about that guy, but if Brett Veach and company are high on him and are willing to pay him $3 million, a 1-year deal worth $3 million with a chance to get $5 million with incentives built in, I mean, they must be pretty high on the guy themselves. If you look at Deion Bush's contract from last year, he got a vet min signing. $1.1 million. So they are definitely higher on this guy, and Deion Bush could find himself back as safety 4 for depth, but we'll see. They may possibly have found their safety needs met before the draft and can focus up on other position groups. But again, with all that being said, you got to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those?